All things are possible to them that believe. All things, yeah. All things are possible. All things are possible to them that believe.
Covers every secret that upliftment is its prime objective. The program is nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guest and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It will addresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes that a government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 107.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another. It leaves no stone unturned. It asks the hard questions. It uncovers every secret that's worth uncovering. Liberia's upliftment is its prime objective. The program is nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guest and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It addresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes that a government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 107.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another. Truth-telling is the bedrock of good journalism. Straight from the heart, on Sky 107.1 is that platform you can rely on for credible, undiluted, and unbiased analysis. It is thought-provoking. It speaks nothing but the truth to whoever is involved. Our presenters remain impartial and are only interested in truth-telling. The program comes your way Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's speak from our hearts. Mama Liberia for good.
Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. In a pray. Oh Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh Liberia, try to settle things the way we used to be. Maybe it's all we need in our life. mission is on. You've been sleeping so long. No time for guns. No time to do wrong. Say the war is gone. My people be strong.
Wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Try to settle things the way we used to be. You know, it's all we need in our love and control. Mama,
Wokama, wena moto mwaka, wokama, muna moto mwaka, ufanu, unyamano, wokama, sarune, labire, abore, gini, kama. Parliament, Basama, Wokama, Kisame, Wokama, Lomaman, Kiyaman, Promen, Wokama, Wokama, Mengo, Bola, Mengo,
Good morning, and a pleasant welcome to another interesting edition of the program, straight from the heart on Sky 107.1, and we are here Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock. Today is Friday, by the way. Today is the 9th day of July 2021, and we have another firing edition of the program, straight from the heart. This morning at 8 o'clock, we're going to be speaking with the dismissed deputy minister, or former deputy minister, to put it better. We're going to be speaking with Minister Eugene Fagon. Eugene Fagon joins us this morning to talk about something very important. And I said the topic we're going to be having a discussion with Eugene Fagon is that ahead of the 2023 general and presidential elections, political consensus building has begun. Liberians will be faced with another obligation of making a critical political decision in electing leaders. Between the opposition and the ruling position, which group of people should be trusted with another 6 years leadership mandate? Former Minister Eugene Fagon is commenting this morning. Some suggestions we got that, well, Matthias, why not pair Minister Fagon with another person, maybe from the opposition? But we try to have the conversation along with Minister Fagon. We know the reason. We're the producers and we worked with the entire production team, and we agreed that, yes, we should hold Minister Fagon alone. So subsequently, we're going to have a similar discussion with other, intellectuals. But until then, I want to unearth something that maybe, I don't know how you're going to see it, but I think it's an act of deception on the part of Captain Jerry Colley of the disbanded soldiers of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Captain Colley, yesterday, along with his men, declared unflinching support to Dr. Daniel Cassell of the People's Liberation Party. Captain Colley, hours later, after the declaration of support to Dr. Cassell, came into our studio, and he could not speak definitively whether the disbanded soldiers, had declared support to the political leader of the PLP. So that we're going to be bringing you both clips, his appearance in studio and the statement he made when Dr. Cassell visited the offices of the disbanded soldiers of the Armed Forces of Liberia. But also, Madam Macaulay, Jane Macaulay, Director General of the National Public Health Institute. She was on our show yesterday, 50-50, and she also appeared at MICAT. So we want to listen to what she said at MICAT and just trying to connect it with what she told us and what is on MFO's page, Facebook page, how people are reacting to the information that is there on MFO's page. I've not checked it this morning. I'm going to check it. If MFO brings it down, then indeed they're guilty. Of course, they're guilty as charged. But you too, the listeners, can join us. If you're there watching us already, invite someone. Please hit the notification button that by the time we come on at any time, you'll receive the notification once your internet is on. Better still, share. Invite someone to join the conversation. Drop your comments and tell us exactly what you make of the issues we're discussing. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is Friday. And thank God it's Friday. I'm excited because after here, I get to relax and sleep a lot. We'll be right back after this break.
Try to settle things the way we used to be. It's all we need in our love and control. Mama,
Wokama, wena moto mwaka, wokama, muna moto mwaka, ufanu, unyamano, wokama, sarune, labire, abore, gini, wokama. Parliament, Basama, Wokama, Kisame, Wokama, Lomaman, Kiyaman, Promen, Wokama, Men
Chikimbi, Ekpeleme, Basame, Golame, Guillaume, Lomame, wherever you're from, I am very sure that you understand that we are all one people. We are all Liberians. Let us come together as one people to rebuild this great country, Liberia. If we do that, we are going to be developing this great country in a way that our children, we appreciate the effort that we all are applying in ensuring that we give Liberia better representation. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is the 9th day of July 2021. Before I get to the two individuals, not them as you know, personally, to bring them under the microscope or the spotlight this morning, but their institutions, Enfield and Disbanded Soldiers. First, I would like to read, a press statement coming from the Ministry of Labor regarding the unfoldings there at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. But before that, like I said, we're going to be speaking with the former Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information, Minister Eugene Fagon. Minister Fagon is in the U.S. Minister Fagon joins us. He's by the way, I don't want to say he's in the U.S. He's out of the country. He only him knows where exactly he is. So Minister Fagon joins us via WhatsApp, and we're going to be speaking with him on a topic between the opposition and the ruling position, whoever in the opposition. So former Minister Fagon is going to be analyzing individual politicians, from one individual to another individual to organizations as well. So he's going to be telling us why one group should be trusted, but if that group should be trusted, it should have certain characteristics moving forward. So that's a conversation you don't want to miss. But let's quickly read out this press release from the Ministry of Labor. Monrovia, July 8, 2021. It says, in an effort to restore calm and ensure industrial harmony at the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the Minister of Labor, Councillor Charles H. Gibson, today met with the management and workers' union of the corporation in Monrovia. During the meeting, Minister Gibson mandated the management to restore the 30% deduction from the workers' salaries with immediate effect. He cautioned the management against taking the employees by surprise on issues affecting the status of their jobs. He encouraged the management to give adequate notice to the employees of upcoming changes. Minister Gibson has also called on the management to suspend Mr. Jason Turner, the Executive Director of General Services of LEC, and asked that he be subjected to further investigation into circumstances leading to the death of Mr. Jacob Dukley, the manager of Capital Feeder and TND of the corporation. He said the Labor Minister will hold consultation with the Ministry of Justice. The Labor Ministry, by the way, will hold consultation with the Ministry of Justice and the deceased family to establish if there is a need to conduct an autopsy on the body of the dead employee. Good move. Good move. Minister Gibson has at the same time advised the management of LEC not to allow Mr. Peter U. Egbodo, meter consultant, whose work permit has since expired, on the compounds of the LEC. Imagine the country we run. The minister has said allowing Mr. Egbodo to continue working without a valid permit is a violation of the labor laws of Liberia. The minister warned that Mr. Egbodo should not be seen in an LEC uniform, vehicle, or on the premises until at such time a work permit is duly issued him. During the meeting, it was established that the leadership of the workers' union did not organize nor authorize the illegal strike action, but that the protest was spontaneous due to the sudden death of Dukley, who they claimed was constantly harassed and threatened by Mr. Turner and Mr. Egbodo. However, the minister used the occasion to encourage unions in the country to always seek the intervention of the Ministry of Labor before embarking on strike actions. Your chairman, Ministry of Labor. Meanwhile, both the Workers' Association and the Mother Union have apologized for for the strike action on behalf of the LEC workers while promising to pursue dialogue under the supervision of the Ministry of Labor on all issues between them and the LEC management. For their part, the management of the LEC thanked the Ministry of Labor for its swift intervention and promised to abide by the ministry's decision. The ministry was not swift in intervening, number one. So let's get that out of there. Protest went for 2 days. In fact, the protest, if the ministry was swift enough, it would not have seen the shutting down of power plants, thereby leaving people in darkness for at least days. Even if you left a business person in the dark, if you took electricity from a business person for an hour, do you know how many thousands of dollars you make that person lose at that moment? Lost at that moment. So it's very important for you to know that the Ministry of Labor was not swift enough. Talking about unions around the world, around the country, should ensure that they seek the redress, they seek the intervention of the ministry before they take actions. Look, Ministry of Labor, your responsibility to seek the welfare of the welfare of labor, of laborers in this country, relationship between employees and their bosses. So do you want to sit down and wait till somebody comes with a complaint before you go and do investigation as to what is happening in a? Don't you think? I recommend that the Ministry of Labor, for the benefit of an impartial judgment that should be rendered in so many workplaces, the Ministry of Labor should assign secret agents at every employment area. So instead of you waiting for employees to come and complain to you, assign secret agents that they will not be in relationship with the management there. The employees there will not know them, that they are working with the labor ministry or so, but they will be there. In fact, there will be some of the laborers. Why not let's do things, let's think outside the box in order to save people from dying mysteriously. Jacob Dukley is dead. It's a good thing. The conversation that the Ministry of Labor wants to have with the Ministry of Justice about autopsy, that is very important. Because like I was informing you yesterday, I'm told that there was a serious tussle between Mr. Turner and Dukley, because Dukley had gone into his office. He had invited Dukley. In fact, Dukley told him that something is wrong with one of the big meters in town that supplies the big businesses around there. So there's somebody temper with it. This guy, being a specialist, being a professional person, informed his boss, and this thing turned into something. Not knowing that, unknown to this Dukley fellow, that this boss of his is actually enriching himself through that particular meter, through the tempering of that meter. When the meter is tempered with, that's the time he gets money. So there's more investigation needs to be done. And this Turner guy, his part in crime is this Peter Egbodo, this Nigerian fellow whose work permit has since expired, but he was still working. But because he's a guy who's brave, he does all the dirty works for his white bosses, those ones, the unscrupulous ones at LEC that do not want to see Liberians having electricity and sleeping under light. They come from well-developed nations, electrified nations, but they come in a poor country with poor mindset of people, most especially the leaders with poor mindset. So they say, well, these people, their leaders don't even like them. So why should we even care about them? Let's put them in the dark. Let's give the people the electricity and raise the money and enrich ourselves. So this Peter Egbodo guy is the only person who was willing to work and ensure that he puts money in his boss's pocket by tampering with the meter that Dukley was trying to protect. Dukley now fell in trouble. Dukley has died. The Justice Ministry, this should not be a suggestion. Of course, yes, the Labor Ministry is suggesting that it's going to be having a conversation with the Justice Ministry. Let this autopsy be conducted. You can know if this guy was poisoned, if this guy was beaten in that office, whatever happened, let's know. But Labor Ministry, don't tell you, management of LEC, don't tell us that Labor Ministry was swift in intervening. It was not swift enough. It sits there and wait until sometimes people die on the job. If it was swift enough, I'm not too sure Jacob Dukley would have died in the process. So stop the praises to the Labor Ministry. It needs to wake up and do more, is to go beyond just sitting and waiting until something terrible happens before it gets involved. But the good thing is that calm has been restored at the LEC. Now, let's unearth some deception. Let's listen to Madam Macaulay first. Jane Macaulay. Jane Macaulay is the head of MPhil, of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. I don't know whether she's a doctor. I think she's Dr. Jane Macaulay, right? Yes, she is a doctor, maybe. That's what I'm told. So Dr. Jim McCullough is the Director General of MTHEO. Yesterday we had on 50/50. We contacted her because of what we saw on MTHEO's page. And because of that, we had a conversation with her and we asked her a number of questions. Dr. McCullough did not take responsibility as a leader of MTHEO for what is actually ongoing there. But let's now find out what exactly did she say at the NICAD press briefing yesterday. Then we're going to remind you of what she told us on 50/50.
Last few weeks, we can see that a lot of us have really started to adhere to all of the health protocols put in place by the incident management system. I really want to commend us all because this is the only way we can possibly break spreading COVID-19 here in Liberia. Currently, the platforms that are launched for testing here in Liberia is the real-time PCR and also the rapid diagnostic testing. We are using both interchangeably, whereas the PCR remains the gold standard for COVID-19 confirmations. As of July the 6th, the lab has tested 123 samples. That's not just a specific to Montserrado, that is the entire country from Limba, Yoka, from all of the counties here, the entire nation. The lab has tested 123,000 COVID-19 samples. So we had some sequencing done. That was done in May and of April. The May sequencing was done at the Noguchi Institute. And we also have sequencing done in April of this year, 2021, done at the Redeemer Institute in Nigeria. So the Noguchi Institute is Ghana, and then the Redeemer Institute is in Nigeria. So both sequencing reports on the variant of concern remain that we have in countries the B117, which is the Alpha variant. We also have another variant that's classified under WHO as the Beta variant. This variant came out on our sequencing report as of April. The Beta variant is the B1525. That's called the Beta variant. That is a variant of interest. My lab director will go over what's the difference between a variant of interest and a variant of concern. We also have a variant that is currently under investigation. That means that variant has not been labeled yet. That variant is the B11318. That variant has not been labeled yet as a Beta or Beta. Is called a variant under investigation that is also circulating.
So basically, she was talking about, the different variants of the COVID-19 and the approaches, employed by the MTHEO there and the test lab technicians who are usually doing the job, and scrupulous ones there who are also selling test results to people who want to buy test results. So yesterday, something caught our attention. In fact, we discussed this particular thing on our two shows. Straight from the Heart highlighted it, and it became very big on 50/50. I want to read. With note of several complaints of extortion and fraud in our COVID-19 testing and results processes by persons trusted to carry out delicate activities. We take these complaints extremely serious and have commenced an internal review. We believe that these complaints, if true, emanate from sample collectors who create new codes and submit different test samples for individuals who have tested positive for COVID-19. As a result, there will be changes created by new codes. Let's stop it right there. We contacted Madam McCullough yesterday to give us information about this particular thing, where she confirmed that yes, something like that is happening, and therefore we are also taking seriously the complaints that people are bringing to us. Initially, people were saying a lot of things. Sometimes people travel, to Liberia, and they oh my God, and they get tested. So when they get tested, and what happens is that they do not get their results. Some of them travel, they go out of the country, and they come back yet without a result. In fact, some of them do not get tested because people are buying their way out of the country and buying their way into the country to, airport, security personnel as well. And in fact, lab technicians, also they are the one doing the worst harm to people. So you get tested. For example, Cyrus and I go for testing, and Cyrus proves negative and I'm positive and I want to travel out of the country. I have some urgency to attend to. And I said to the lab technicians, listen, that fellow is going back home. Would you please give him a positive result and you give me his negative result so that they can enable me to leave the country? MTHEO has acknowledged that is happening and is still investigating. It has now seen about 7 persons. What the Director General did not let us know about yesterday, she did not name for us the 7 individuals. She even covered them up. I didn't expect that she would speak on new variants and all of that. Everyone is very keen. People are very curious about knowing what is happening right now with the COVID-19. So people are reading. So what we expected the MPHO boss to address at that make-out press briefing yesterday, at which I was there to ask her some questions. I would have brought this particular thing up and gave her more tough time to ensure that she answered more questions about it. She should have addressed this. This is the serious thing, a serious issue now that even national security needs to get involved with. So to say, oh yes, now take my answer. Would you consider resigning in a country where people believe in morality than positions? In a country where people believe in integrity than position, she'll be resigning. You've endangered the lives of thousands of Liberians. MPHO is yet to even give account of people who ran away. The Health Ministry announced. So it's a collective effort. Today you went to the Ministry of Information. We need to talk about the usual, intellectual engagement. But that's it, folks. I don't know how many of you are visiting testing centers and think, given the fact that this is happening, and MPHO doesn't seem serious in tackling this particular, situation. It doesn't seem very serious in tackling this thing, because I thought this would have been the real issue that she would have addressed yesterday at the make-out press briefing. But talking about new variants and things, this is not a lecture series. Do not lecture us about what are the new variants and how do they what they call. Yes, I know. Basically, information should be provided. But what is the crux of the matter right now in the discussion is the fact that you said, as an institution, that in your midst, people you hire to do a piece of job, meaning you trusted them, they affix their signatures to some kind of bond fund. There must be a bond fund that if you are bond fund, by the way, that if you deviate from this particular thing, XYZ thing, or things will happen to you. So now she's saying no. Even some of the people that are in that are at that particular testing lab, they are not fully employees of MPHO. Excuse us with that particular thing, madam. Yeah, that is not what we want to hear. Whether they are employees or do you know why people open their institutions for internships? Because they want to train. If an intern does anything on your radio station at an institution, it is not the institution that intern is coming from that will be here responsible. It is the institution that brought in that particular intern. I'm talking about intern, I'm not talking about professionals. In your case, you hire professionals. You believe, you trusted them that they are professionals. So whatever blunder they carry out there that caused the lives of other people and psychological trauma of other people, take responsibility. That's what administrators do. Sadly, administrators in Liberia and this other part of the world, they are more concerned about the office they occupy and the salaries they get, how well they can continue driving the luxurious vehicles, than protecting their image. All right. So if you see this thing now happening, you talk about, well, this thing is happening this way because of this, is that, and all of that. So we're going to move on quickly to Captain Jerry Colley's clip. And then after that, we open the lines to hear from you. You are listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. And we're here Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock. Today is Friday. So 2 issues already on the plate, on the table this morning for you to discuss. We've just highlighted the issue at the LEC, how the Labor Ministry got involved and will be taken, because time immemorial, we've seen that most of the time complaints come from employees and they are promised fair treatment, they are promised justice, they are promised, redress. But unfortunately, they never get the redress properly as expected, from their government. So, but they just let them, just go through the pings and all of that, and everything goes down. So this time around, that is the Liberia Electricity Hub, LEC. All right. So if anything happens there, to say that the protest went for 2 days, even extended to shutting down of power plant, then somebody say Labor Ministry was swift. It was not swift. It sits there. It just sits in that office, does no investigation. Sometimes they visit your offices and think, I sometimes wonder, why do you guys don't even visit the media? Labor Ministry, you want to get a better advocacy. You don't even have to pay for airtime, right? Get involved with media executives, for example. Investigate them, how well they treat their staff. Every employees in those institutions will help to promote the labor ministry because they see that somebody cares. But you people sit there and wait for everything to come to your doorsteps. It doesn't work like that. Let's see whether there is deception, or maybe I'm just thinking so deep. Let's see whether there's deception in Captain Jerry Colley's accession. Captain Jerry Colley, yesterday, the disbanded soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia, their offices received a very big visitor. That is Dr. Daniel Cassell. Dr. Cassell is the political leader of the People's Liberation Party. At that particular program, Captain Jerry Colley said this to Dr. Cassell.
Were alleged that certain section of the application of the disbanded of the armed forces of Liberia, even a second president, nor a government official of this country, said the sections of the early joint government, transitions to the CDC-led government, under President George Manneh Weah, we are not seeing any official of government to visit our office to know our problem. We have come to realize that in subsequent government they don't recognize us. And because of this, Liberia faces serious economic crisis. Because the actions of the military, Liberia is dying everywhere in the streets. Liberians are dying. The perpetrator can be brought to book. But you coming to be president in the Republic of Liberia, we have called on you to make the AFL disbanded soldiers a political space and constituent take the organization to be on. We'll commit our loyalty to you. We'll campaign for you in the 15 political divisions of our country and make sure that you win the election. See here, we got one old TV. We cannot watch news. No generator. All the people you see are all college graduates, including me. We don't have computer. We don't have nothing here to use. We're begging you. We want to go upstairs here. Election coming, you trust us, we got the folks. So we're begging you. Please help us to hold the office on the 2023. You see what we can do. We may see this in the win elections. And like I said, this is disbanded so serious. Help us to maintain this office on the 2023. If you trust in God, you will become the next president in the Republic of Liberia. And like I said, we want to join you to fight the COVID-19 in the 15 counties. Every item that you will get out, even at a no smile, put your picture on it because you will sell it. Okay? Put your picture. Don't carry it around. Fight this war. Stand up. Don't public and make it with you. And like I said, a black white singlet on your starch, making you a brigadier.
Look at Captain Jerry Colley, you brave. You see what? You want me to be brigadier general? You're not a soldier man anymore. So I don't know where's Minister Daniel Ziankan. You Minister Ziankan? This guy is the chairman of the disbanded soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia. Does he have any authority to put any insignia, military insignia on someone, declaring him a brigadier general? Oh my God. I saw somebody standing behind Captain Colley, in a military uniform. So are they allowed to wear military uniforms, even though they are disbanded soldiers? They are not armed carriers. Should they wear military uniforms? If that's the case, don't you think this may lead to extortion, to people being harassed? Because we see a lot of people wearing uniforms. Do they wear the uniforms, by the way, in the public, or that was the first time, one of their members wearing it right at that particular office because of the program, and they wanted to impress maybe Dr. Cassell? But that is a clear thing. You listen to it, they declare their support to Dr. Cassell, no plague and trial Dr. Cassell. But what did he say when he entered our studios? Let's hear him.
Dr. Daniel E. Cassell, a humanitarian, a leader of the People Liberation Party in the Republic of Liberia. This man who see the need to help people of this enchanted because he need peace in Liberia. Today is not his first time interacting with us.
Has he visited you people officially like he did today with his entourage, wide coverage and so?
No.
Okay.
But then we've been visiting him when he newly came here 2019. He used to be at the Rose Garden before the establishment of the PLP. We had a problem We had a fight between us. That was the Defense Ministry, the Veteran Bureau, and us. We were to be thrown out there, not to have an office space, but that the Kasserd, being humanitarians, heard our cry, and he sent some of his officers to talk to me. One day, I explained the constraint. He checked 5,000 United States dollars
in 2019.
2019. Immediately we met in 2019, July. Immediately we met. Not to say, go can't do. $5,000 United States dollars.
Every year you pay 5,000 at that place?
At that place, yeah. In that
What do you need an office? What exactly are you doing over there that you need an office space for? You people are not a legitimate group of people anymore in the country. You were dishonorably disrobed or disarmed, disbanded from the army. You still run an office. Many people expect that you should be under the Veterans Bureau, but why you want to run your own thing? You want to run your own game? You want to run your own show?
Dishonorably. Underscore the word dishonorably.
I'm taking that from you. Borrow that word from you because you said you were dishonorably retired.
Yes. So we are not veterans.
So why do you? We're going to get to that. Why do you need an office for?
We need an office because we need to engage central government. We need to inform the international that the process was not done the right way. We got children. We serve the country. We need benefit. We need to be resettled so we can go and sit down. Look, this is a country of law, not country of man.
Okay, now let's go back to the politician now. 2019, you got 5,000 from him, and you pay your rent at least for a year.
Yeah.
Now he's paid an official visit to you people.
Yeah.
Did you people extend an invite, or he requested that he wanted to see your office that he initially paid $5,000?
We invited him.
Okay. Why?
We invited him because he paid our rent. He needed to see our office.
Since 2019.
Yes, to believe in us. That despite people have been saying we are different from Loke, but we prove ourselves like we are gentlemen. And the army is as a gentleman. Army man is a common a gentleman who believes in transparency and accountability. So we invited him to come and see the offer he paid for. So he can understand that his money did not go in vain.
Okay.
Yeah, we did not gamble his money. And we are lacking a lot of things in that office.
Now, a few things I've gathered from some of your men. I did some background investigation about you. You've spoken a lot about your financial sincerity. That every penny you get everywhere, you report it to them, they all benefit from it. So,
yes, of course.
So now, Kasserd visited you today.
Yeah.
Is he building consensus with you people regarding his ambition, presidential ambition, for a possibility for you people to support him 2023? Well, what's wrong with that? I don't know what is. Wow. That we really wanted to hit the midpoint. We actually need to take a break to be right back. I didn't get that properly. Yes, we got to come back, folks. We'll be right back after this break.
On Sky, incredible, undiluted, and unbiased analysis. It is thought-provoking. It speaks nothing but the truth.
Not be visible. I told her you will be leaving Liberia over town bomb. And when the bomb is blasting, only the particle will be hitting people, but you cannot see where the bomb is blasting from. These are some of the bombs that are blasting. The COVID-19. Under her administration, the Ebola, a country without security, a country that will throw all the train security away. That country bound to fall economically. America fought a war. The Hela War. America never sacked all of the soldiers that fought the war. That was the guardian, the veteran that you talk about. Those guys were pensioned with honor. Our we were not pensioned with honor.
few men were taken from the disbanded soldiers and giving them stopping the call pension. 7,000 LD. In fact, it was 3,000. Because of our advocacy, she saw reason to carry on to 7,000. Senate government came to being, nothing is being added.
So,
but Dr. Cassell visit to us today brought some release to us.
How so?
People say we are not educated. Dr. Cassell saw our office. He saw our living. We don't have money to pay LEC. And nobody want to assist us to give our LEC current. They call us a troublemaker. And I don't know where they can identify us to be a troublemaker. You talk about armed robbery, you will not see any disbanded soldier cough to say he carry on armed robbery. You talk about rape, you will not see disbanded soldier being involved into rape. You talk about burglary, no disbanded soldiers. How do you describe these people as problematic?
Okay, our presenters.
That's right. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. We are here Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, we're going to be speaking with the former Deputy Minister, the Ministry of Information for Press and Public Affairs, Minister Eugene Fagon. But you listen to Captain Jerry Colley. Well, that interview, I want to encourage you to check on Sky Communications Liberia Facebook page and check for Nothing to Hide July 8th edition. All right, or our YouTube channel, Sky FM and TV Liberia. If you don't want to watch that on Facebook, watch it on YouTube. You listen to Captain Jerry Colley initially declaring support, his entire organization, Disbanded Soldiers, declaring support to Dr. Cassell. When he entered our studios, he tried to backpedal on that particular declaration of intent. Let's have a conversation briefly on a few things we've highlighted: the LEC, the MPhil, and the Disbanded Soldiers. Are they people you can trust, politicians you trust, or they make statements before a politician because the person is sitting right there? When the person leaves, they look forward to seeing other people come in so they can make similar statements. Let's hear you. Call us on the numbers 777-107, 077-221-223, 077-107, 077-221-223. You can also call us on WhatsApp or Sky. That's our messenger as well, Sky Liberia. Or IMO, you'll be live on the program, and let's have a conversation. It's Friday. Let's hear from this first person here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Bill Malema Wanta.
Mr. Wanta, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the excess that you have brought on all along. But I have a little bit problem with Jerry. You see, people, the statement of that man is highly deceptive. These are people that from this inception of the government president, we have always been there for them, always making support. And to the extent that you will go to that ride and you want to ring on article, red on Dr. Cassell, I think they laugh it. People must be sincere. The reason this country is going the way it's going, because we have too many insincerity people that the only want it today, they are not willing to sacrifice. Matter the fact that Ghana and other countries we are making reference to that they are great today because people stood the cost. People should not put that better in our head to be roaming all around on the street to say they want to be a leader. Or that comment coming from that identical president of the disbanded soldier as he called, he also deceived the public. The 540 that they received.
No, that's not the point, Mr. Malema. Sorry, Mr. Malema, we're not talking about 540. What we're talking about, even their July 15th thing, I'm not even talking about it this morning. I'm just looking at if there is a political deception in the two statements. The man spoke at his office and they declared support to Dr. Cassell. He came in studio, he was asked, he backpedaled on his statement. That's the point. Whether they got 540, then they are going to be protesting on the 15th. That's not the point I'm raising right now, Mr. Malema. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the fact the fact here is that the main comment had deception. What they said to that office was different than why most of the person when you're trained to, you could not go.
Okay.
This is something I've got to be very careful about. This country.
Thank you so much, Malema. Let's move on. Quickly. You guys have to be very strict in getting that people. Let's hear from this other person. Hello.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is David E. Harris, now Kaufman, resident this morning.
Mr. Harris, go ahead. Make your point.
Yeah, Matthias, thank you for all of your talking points.
Thank you.
But yesterday, I did not follow you on the chatting.
Oh, Nothing to Hide?
Late. Yeah, I didn't follow you
Yesterday,
on the topic.
David, you missed out something good. According to our viewers and listeners, they say it was the best nothing to hide ever because Captain Jerry Colley wanted to enter my throat. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, but Matthias, I heard him calling on this Bano Army to come for their P yesterday. I think he was being insightful. For me, if you have issue with national government or the Ministry of Finance, I think I would want him to go to the appropriate authority, call them,